Hi, first graders, welcome. Today for Writer's Workshop, we're going to be learning about fiction writers. So I wanted to remind you of what we've done so far. Okay, fiction writers make up characters. Check mark, we've done that already. We give them names and we describe them. We've done that as well. We imagine the settings and describe them. We've done that. Today, we're going to focus on imagining the adventures or events that your character will have. And we're going to think about using transition or sequence words to tell our story, like first, next, then, after that, meanwhile, finally. We're going to think about stretching our story and our pictures across several pages. And then we're also going to think about hooking our readers, bringing our characters to life, using actions, dialogue, our characters talking. And today we're going to look at some mentor texts. And then hopefully at the end of this video, I will link some of the mentor texts that we use because I'm not going to read all the books, but I'm going to show you different ways that you could hook your reader in the beginning of your story and how you could bring your characters to life, okay, in movement, in feelings, in action, and also in talking. Okay. So you might decide that your events in your story are going to be funny. Maybe the story is going to have 3 funny events, or maybe it's just going to have 1 funny event. Maybe your character is going to have good versus evil. The character has to overcome some kind of evil villain. Okay, good versus evil. Maybe your character is going to go on a mission or a quest. Okay, and the character in the story is going to try and accomplish something. Or maybe there's going to be a lesson that will be learned. Okay, so I wanted to kind of show you how you can hook your readers in the beginning of your story, and also show you some mentor texts and how those books, how those stories and the authors and how they did that. One other thing I want to talk to you about is how you can include dialogue. You can have your characters talking. Okay, you could have it in a speech bubble, or you could have it written with quotation marks. Okay, so I'm going to show you Mo Williams' We Are in a Book. Okay, and I just opened it up to this page because I wanted to show you that we've got Gerald, who's talking. That is so cool, and how the words are in big, bold, capital letters, and how Piggy is jumping and the action that the character's showing, okay? And they drew out these little dots to show the action, okay? You also notice around the elephant, okay, how there's like little lines here. Those little lines mean that the trunk is moving, that the elephant is moving. So when you draw your pictures, you might think about adding in these little lines to make the character move, to bring your character to life. Okay, you'll notice in the piggy has the little lines for the movement that the piggy's doing. Okay, in one book, this book is called Tony Baloney, and the reason why I'm sharing this one is because in the beginning, okay, the author introduces us to the character. And he tells everything about Tony Baloney that gets me interested in what he likes. And so it says, Tony Baloney is a macaroni ... So already I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I want to know what's going to happen in the story. Penguin. He loves fish tacos with Parmesan cheese, little green walrus guys, his stuffed animal buddy Dandelion, and anything with wheels. And then the authors put in the big words, okay, vroom, vroom. So I know it sounds like this is going to be an interesting book. Okay, there's lots of details in the pictures. There's big capital letters to make it interesting. The characters introduced in the beginning of the story. Okay, sometimes the author, like David Shannon, duck on a bike, might start the beginning sentence, kind of with a question, or might tell you something, but not tell you everything that's going to happen. So this one, duck on a bike, it says, one day down on the farm, So we already know when it's happening. We know where it's happening. Duck got a wild idea. Wild idea. Doesn't tell me he's going to ride the bike right away. It tells me he has a wild idea. I might want to keep reading this story because it's starting off interesting. Okay, and then you can also see the detail in the picture. Okay, so when writers write, they start off their books in an interesting way. It's sort of like what we call a hook. They're trying to entice you to keep on reading. Okay, another book that I wanted to show you was this book, The Gruffalo. And the author started off with the setting. It said, "A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house." So the author started with rhyming words, asking a question, getting us interested because it's introducing the characters to us, lots of details in the picture. Okay? Sometimes authors might start with a question. So the book is How Did Dinosaurs Say Goodnight? And each page is a question. So you might think, as an author of your fiction book, do I want to start my story with a question about something that's going to happen to the character? Okay, so for instance, the first page of this book is, how does a dinosaur say goodnight when Papa comes in to turn off the light? So already we're introduced to the characters in the story. And we know that it's going to happen at night because that's part of the question. Okay, another story that I have here is Andrew's Loose Tooth. Okay, and it starts off sort of with the problem of the story. When Andrew came downstairs, there were 3 big red apples in the middle of the table. And even though he had a loose tooth, he decided to eat an apple. So he reached out, picked up an apple, shined it on his shirt, took a bite and yelled, "Yow! Mommy, Mommy, do something about this tooth. It hurts so much I can't even eat my apple." Okay, and what I wanted to show you is already we have dialogue. We have big, bold words. We have Andrew talking to his mom and asking her to do something. We have the quotation marks between, yow, and at the end of the sentence of apple, and he's talking to his mom. And we have lots of detail in the picture. So those are all ways that we can hook our reader, especially in the beginning of the story, okay? And where it makes us interested in finding out more about the character, learning more. So we bring our characters to life, okay, like Mo Williams did in his story. And you can probably see it also in this story where Andrew is running and yelling, and you can see the character coming to life in the story. Let me try to see if I can find on this page where Mom is yanking, you can see the little actions on the side that show that she's pulling, and she's also thinking. She's got a few little dots at the top here to show that she's thinking. Okay, you can feel for the character. Okay, not just by the word, but you can look at the picture and know how the character is feeling. So we want to bring our characters to life. We want to show the action. We want to show the dialogue that the character is having with the other characters. Okay, and so today in your writing, you should be going back to your writing and thinking about those 3 events that you want your character to have, or 3 adventures, okay? And thinking about what are those adventures or events going to be, okay? How could you use those sequence words, first, next, then, after that, even the word finally? How could you stretch your writing across many pages and stretch your pictures out as well? How can you hook your readers so they're really excited about your writing? Can you bring some of your characters to life in your pictures? Can you add your characters talking? Okay, I'm going to I'm going to link some of our books at the bottom of this page, okay, about at the bottom of this video. And I'm also going to put in some of our run-on sentences because last week we had setting and we had character. And today I'm going to include some of the events that I thought about for Clyde, my character. And I'm going to ask you as my partners to kind of help me revise and edit my sentences because I believe I've written some run-on sentences and I need my first graders to help me fix them.